Okay. What horrible crisis has like
We have such
occurred?
great
So
leads.
first off, there's no things missing from the equipment store other than the Castle Forge longswords we've taken, and the Maester has deduced that the herbal, like the recipe thing, like a concoction, that's exotic tea from like
Tea.
Tyrush. Yes, tea. Like you could follow that and you could make tea.
Tea from Tyrosh. Great.
Yes. And it would not be too terribly difficult to obtain. It's exotic tea.
Fuck everything.
Yes. And I'm like, and the numbers, I mean, that could be anything. That could be like a predetermined legend key of like fucking this is what you add to the tea, and then you make the bomb.
Yeah, I mean the sequence of the numbers are certainly easy enough to see. It's just since we don't know in what context they're actually used.
Right.
This is how many grains of tea leaves.
It's hard to make a justification for a cunning decipher skill check when fucking it could just be fucking. I don't know.
I hate the Lormans so much. I hate them so much.
I noticed that you dropped the fucking arrogance on him. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh fucking Christ.
I'm like, if there was going to be a starting disposition against them, I don't know what the lowest one is, but it's like that would be
It's
decimal.
delicious. It's
Yeah,
delicious.
like actively trying to murder them.
But you were right about everything, Jonas. You got
All
to-
they do is deify like the man that you did everything to kill.
Yes,
You know, that's all they do. It's
weird how I don't
Deify
like
this
them.
villain of House Count. I bet they would like us aligning with House Trent. House Trent would be like, we're not killing the Lordmen. They're awesome.
I mean, they're kind of, we gave them a bit of sorcery.
Yeah, you're like, you did.
That's where we find out that all the rumors
Yeah.
are true.
Yep, all the rumors are true. It wouldn't like if we were on this conspiracy train. It wouldn't surprise me in the least to find out that Trant has supplied the Lordman with shit and tried to make the Lordman push against us.
Trent
to push
has
them.
supplied them with exotic tea.
Yeah, yeah, they are. There's so much exotic tea.
Mr. Colgan says that it's possible that the lawmen might have known what this was either. If they did find someone. Most people would not dare to drink something in an herbal mix that they just found on somebody.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
It doesn't say tea on there.
Right.
And they probably wouldn't even really have much of a concept of what tea is used for. Or something that Lowborn enjoy.
Send a message to them, dear Lordmen.
So
Do you have perhaps any vials of liquids?
well, so in the end we know that Selmy might have sent patrols in to mess about, and the Lorman took them out. Perhaps.
And they maybe had like some sort of grand concoction that involved exotic tea that they were going to use.
Yeah, maybe it's like it's like a Christmas sock thing. We're gonna place expensive tea in the room of the heir of the house to befriend him. Like,
The Trojan tea.
yeah,
A fruit basket.
yeah, like a fruit basket, but with the Tyroshi tea.
Tea,
You know.
tea basket.
Pineapple. Right here.
Oh, I bet Lennis would love pineapple tea. He looks like a tea guy to me.
I don't even know if pineapple's a thing in this world.
Yeah,
Two
Well, yeah.
gold dragons
they are,
apiece.
definitely, but not here.
Okay.
Never seen a pineapple.
I don't know.
If we saw
Never
it, we
seen a
would be.
canoe,
Oh.
never seen a canoe,
If-
never seen a
If
pineapple.
we saw it, we would be
Maybe
afraid of it. It's like,
Nima
what is
can
that?
explain what a pineapple is.
In the reach, you like very sweet, like apples and pears and pumpkins and that sort of thing. What's corn?
Oh, and a peach.
Yeah, peaches. Really,
Grapes.
Like all the fruit is like has been sort of cultivated in such a fashion that it's so juicy that it just drips down your beard and runs down your cheeks and
We do the Denethor.
Yeah,
thing.
basically.
All right. Well, I don't have anything that I want to do based on the information we've just learned, other than no longer help Galt with counting things.
Yeah, that
I
was,
can now use my little piggies
One.
for something else.
that was
Two.
disappointingly scant information, sadly.
all right,
Well,
well. I believe the next thing that sort of will go on, unless someone has something that they want to start, pick a fight, will be the arrival of guests, more guests.
Uh-oh.
Nobody ever has enough guests.
I think we have enough guests.
I mean, our guest just left.
A carriage token, but they will be arriving by carriage.
The wagon is right here.
It's a wagon, but we'll use it for carriage now. Now it's a carriage. Go ahead.
It can be repurposed.
Yeah, it's a carriage now. Very nice carriage for noble ladies to ride in.
How well do I know these girls? I don't know.
You know them decently well.
Oh, cool. What was I their first kiss?
No.
Too bad.
You also know that they have a man with them who generally takes care of them from Westeros. He's called Sir Ryman. He is a knight of Westeros, and he's taught them, made sure that they know all things about nobility and tons of stories about knights and ladies and how wonderful it is over here. Land of fairies
gee.
and tales and stories, instead of all the scheming and such that's back in Bravos. Merchant lords and whatnot.
Yeah.
Suddenly the carriage will move up.
Who's right eye?
Everyone.
It's clearly a trap planted by House Peak. It's like a bomb. He'll just like pop it out of his head, Jonas, and he'll throw it on the ground in front of you.
I knew it.
Anyway,
Sorcery.
will
gods
Uncle
generally
Desmond come to
keep-
reach?
Well, they're drawing. It has the symbol of House Caladan on it. And
The-
sigil. And the word will be brought to you that a carriage has arrived, and that the man who has arrived with it has informed you that he is carrying Lady Nelia and Lady Catelyn.
Neema's on identification duty here.
Oh, right.
Go here, looking, even though he's not really supposed to be around.
Do you know left and right?
He's like in here doing some shit. I don't know.
He's in the kitchen. Yes, he's in the kitchen.
He's eating.
Who's in the kitchen? Oh, right.
He's not even gonna like sit in the great hall. He's just gonna go straight into the kitchen.
Well, Nima will say which one is who
Sure.
when they come.
Sure. You know
So it's not
that
gonna be awkward.
you certainly know them quite well. You know that the Lady Nalia, the older one, has been blessed with the white hair and sort of very strange looking eyes, sort of a deep, almost amber color. That the Targaryen dragon blood sometimes might provoke. The younger one, the Lady Catelyn, is more of a reach girl with strong brown hair. The same kind of color eyes, though. They're both very sweet girls.
I should probably not be wearing this when they arrive, though. There we go.
As they step out of the carriage, they seem wary from.
Oh, look at them. Well, Nima tells Leonidas who is whom.
Carriage will like brought over here.
Get out of your carriage.
Yeah, you've probably never seen your cousins before, like this, Linus.
Probably not. No.
Bree does not want to come.
I mean, like,
No. She doesn't.
Uncle Decim's not here, so.
Well, you know, if you want to learn about love, there you go.
Which is very impolite of Uncle Desmond not to greet our new guest.
It is totally impolite, but you know, Bree, if you want to learn love, you should probably talk to them instead of me.
Excuse me? Like, that gets a fucking excuse me.
Yeah, the girls come. The younger one seeming rather shy, while the older one has a bit of a confident step, smiling, even though they do seem tired. It is sort of after lunch, so to speak, about maybe 2 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And,
At least the
Shrem will,
Raven's here.
walk up and give a bow. And this is looking at Linus, seeming to
Thanks,
not
Russell.
really recognize them. He'll bow, and then he will also bow to Nima, giving her a wink. You know each other rather, in a decent way. And
Nima
then
will.
he will seem slightly saddened.
Why?
He probably thinks about why he's here.
Oh, well,
He will
Nima.
look up to Lanus, and you will notice that the two girls don't seem as sad as you would expect. Perhaps they have not been told of their father's imminent demise. He will look to Lanus and says, "My lord, I presume. I am Sir Ryman, and I have come here. You received a letter, I should hope.
Yes, we received
This is
we
Lady
received a letter
Nelia.
shortly ago.
This is Lady Nelia, and this is Lady Caladan. They both curtsy, gestures to them. We have travelled far, but we have finally arrived. The girls are very excited to see this.
It certainly
Oh.
has been a long trip, and it is, of course, it is great to be able to see more of our family. Would you all care for come inside for well, some light refreshments?
Yes, I certainly would. Lady Nelia walks up with very controlled steps. She's sort of a moderately tall, probably a little taller than Lanus, generally. She is rather pretty to look upon, very fair, slightly darker skin than her sister, and she seems to be very confident. She walks. She'll walk up and curtsy again. It is a pleasure to meet you, cousin. As the younger sort of trot after, not saying anything, blushing a bit more. She looks at the view here, waving slightly to Nima.
Lannis, it's a
Nima will
pleasure to
bow.
meet both of you.
We've been told of you and, well, the rest of the family, but I'm saddened not to have seen this great place before. It is truly a castle of quite some size. Because we are very wary, as my guardian here has said. She gives a warm smile to Sir Ryman. And we would certainly love to have some food and perhaps sit down.
Lannis will nod and lead his cousins inside.
Follow. I won't go behind.
As they walk, introducing their other cousin, Brienne.
They will curtsy to her. Their long flowing gowns, both very pretty. Catelyn makes a slight grimace as she sees Bree's face, but she tries to hide it. Bree's awareness, though, is enough to see it.
Yeah, I suppose nothing else. Move inside.
Their words are slightly accented by a Barosi accent, making sure that no one can really mistake them for not being foreigners. I'll follow you in.
Seriously? Huh.
They can't. I mean, they appear. They're clearly foreigners from the way they speak. Though they do speak the common tongue.
Something on your mind, Bree?
Yeah, they're family. They're welcome. They're welcome at the high table. They're family. So
Lucas is like here, putting stuff.
I will ask Lucas to fetch Desmond.
Sure, he's not sure where he is, but he will certainly run to Desmond's room to see if he's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll make sure some servants, if it's not already prepared yet.
Bree will look at Nini and say, "Go, follow them. You haven't seen them in years. You should be with them, especially because they." And she like fiddles her fingers in the air. They don't look like they know.
No, but it wouldn't be, I suppose, proper.
Wouldn't be proper for what? You've known them for years. It's like your family. Go.
In Bravos, you never really had to respect nobility much.
No, but stuff has changed much here. They are so up the end with nobility.
Bree frowns at Nini. They're your family. Go and sit with them. Consider that an order from me.
Nima smiles and ruffles Bree's hairs and goes.
Bree chuckles, and then she decides, I'm gonna go hang out with the weaponsmith. They don't look like my
What?
sword.
Oh my.
Manus will personally draw back the chairs for both of the two.
Brienne is not even remotely impressed by seeing the two of them.
I don't even. So.
Surviving won't take place unless offered directly.
He has had quite the tough journey. He is allowed to sit.
I'll say no.
So this is it. I get to sit at the high table, really. So
They do seem very happy to see you.
Oh, that's nice.
It's been so long.
It has.
I was so sad when you left, but it's good to see you again, although so looks to Kettleins is we miss Dad sometimes. It's been a long journey. But we've seen the world as we wanted. Somewhere else. Well, some of it anyway.
You certainly have been travelling a while. I'm sure you have seen quite a lot. Maybe we could share once you're more well rested.
That would be nice. How does Desmond generally like to be disturbed?
Not at all.
I mean, if you have to pick your flavor of disturbance,
If I have to pick a flavor of disturbance, then you just knock. It's if you really want something, knock.
There will be the faint nug of someone who really hopes to, is a little afraid, a little scared.
You will hear the tap of the cane coming closer, and then the door will open. Desmond will look out.
A little bit away from the door, he bows and says, "My lord, guests have arrived, and Lord Lanus said that he would want you present."
Desmond looks slightly dazed. He seems to be holding a couple of brushes and a palette, and maybe Lucas sees something horrid on the
He's actually not looking in.
Yeah, that's
Decidedly
probably
not looking into the room.
That's probably best.
He's looking sort of down, sort of here.
Mm-hmm. That's probably the safe spot. Desmond will blink a little bit, sort of coming out of whatever reverie he was in, and says, "Yes, of course, I will be there presently." He sort of looks down at his sort of collar splotched clothes he's wearing, sighs, and says, "I'll be there shortly."
Because I can say they're being entertained in the great hall, my lord. Buckland and hurriedly take leave. He's never comfortable with the paintings.
Mm.
Not many are.
Much small folk isn't. Yeah, small folk aren't really. We'll move back and begin to make sure that there is whatever on the table needed.
Pouring drinks, I suppose. Bringing food up.
Fruit paste. They will eat very nicely with their fork and using all the sort of their nice skills at behaving in a noble manner. Seemingly something they have trained quite a bit. Perhaps more than any of you.
Yep.
Nima will also know that, of course, they have always dreamed of being ladies and being having knights at tourneys that they can give their favor to and that sort of thing. It's very much
So Sir Ryman is someone you knows quite well as well.
Yeah. He's generally a good man. He's taking good care. He's very protective of the girls.
Good.
Dr. Sir Ryman. I hope there was no trouble, at least, on your travels.
No, we were able to stay in at inns and such. We had been provided with funds for the travel. There were no big concerns, no big delays either. We made good time. I hope our letter was sent with time enough to be forewarned.
It did not arrive maybe as soon as you would have hoped, but we certainly received it, and accommodations have been prepared.
It's good.
You yourself, of course, also have a place to stay.
Would appreciate it very much. I was instructed to keep my ladies safe until they were to be wed.
And quite the prospect.
The girls that does not seem surprised at that. They look like they totally know they're going to be wed when they come.
They seem excited at the thought.
And just you wait until you see the two bastards we found.
No, we're going to marry one of them to the... I feel sorry for them. Don't
Yes.
marry them to the...
I know.
It's as the maester said, if we don't take care of our family, it's how's it gonna blossom?
Sort of begin inquiry as to what Lanus does around. You know, what sort of tasks he does around to keep. The girls will begin to ask about Tawny's, or how his prowess is, or...
Linus,
Any suitors have been considered.
Linus will unfortunately have to inform them he has not found any noble ladies. They have gotten to marry, and he has little prowess in tourneys. For shame it is. He's being honest to them for the most part.
Well, yeah, we'll comment that prowess in tourneys is not the single thing that decides a man's worth, while the younger one seems thoroughly uninterested in Lanus now. Although she again tries to hide it with courtesy. She's not as good at it, potentially, as her older sister. Who seems to be quite polite, everything considered. And she will indeed inquire and say that in a husband, as in a wife, there is much that must be reserved. But the most important thing is that love knows its place and that the people have a kind heart. Perhaps that is what Decim will hear as he goes in.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
The younger girl will say that, like how can says how could you not love a knight? Says, if he has done great deeds and will fight a tournament for you, then you have to love him. She shakes his head and ruffle her sister's hair and say, well, it does not always work like that, Catelyn. She'll give Lanus a very polite smile.
Knights of honor and virtue. Certainly great men they are. Speaking of pauses for great men, your uncle.
Catelyn looks excitedly. And then stretches a little to see what's behind Decim.
Father
Just
gives
smiling
her a look.
warmly to her as she does a deep bow with her head, pushing her sister's head down a little bit too. My lord.
Decim does a slight bow towards them as well. My dear nieces, it is good to see you.
It is good to see you as well. Our father sends his most good.
Yes, I received the letter.
Yes, Uncle, if I am to introduce you, Lady Catelyn and Lady Nalia. This is my Uncle Decim.
Decim nods and says, "Yes, I do recall meeting you several years ago, but you were barely away from your mother's breasts at that point. I hardly think you would remember me." He smiles as
We
warmly as he
have
can
been
afford.
brought up with stories of your bravery, uncle.
He smiles again. "Well, that is certainly warms my heart. It has already been said, I'm sure, but welcome to Winter's Respite." He looks around,
Thank you.
sees Sir Ryman sitting in the... Okay,
Lanus looks over to him, just kind of gives a look of, go with it.
That's an interesting seat to be sitting, but sure. And he will sort of move over here.
So officially, this
Sounds
would be the head of the
like
house's
I
seat,
see.
officially. This would be the Lord's seat, normally. you, you, quite,
Luke is gonna
quite the
tell
message,
on you.
quite the message you're sending.
He is. Looking at these two and says, "I trust then that your travels were pleasant."
As pleasant as can be. She sort of, even though Alderson pales a little bit, and says, the sea was rough, and it was not pleasant to sail. Once we got inland, it was much more pleasant when it wasn't too warm. We were urged to travel at night, so we didn't get to see as much of the countryside as we would have wanted to.
Well, I'm sure that will be remedied soon. We intend for you to be able to rest up here for a couple of days, but then we do have further business down south into Dawn, and we have decided to bring you with us on this journey. We are to see we're going to visit the prestigious house of Ironwood.
They don't immediately seem to recognize the name, but the older one will frown since this is Dawn. I have been given to understand that they are quite different from the Knights of Westeros.
Which one was
Looks
that?
to Sir Ryman. Nalia, the older one.
Nalia, the older one. Decim nods and says, "Yes, their customs are strange, and there have been very tenuous relationships between our houses here in the marshes and Dawn in the past, to be sure. But there is a new time, and a new king, and a new peace ruling. We have been invited." He smiles. "Think of it as you being one of the first to properly see the new dawn. Something few others in the entire Seven Kingdoms have done. Except the one already living there, of course."
Moves his hand to cover Nalia's hand, sort of gently. She looks into her eyes and says, "Besides, the Dornish are known to take good care of their women. They are very kind people, I hear. The few I have met certainly have been courteous." She smiles.
Decim smiles back. Scratches Kvalar behind the head.
Helen looks to the bird and says, "Can I pet him?"
Decim smiles. "Yes, you may." He does a little like finger motions to Kvalar, who sort of quirks his head over and hops over the table.
She'll reach out to pet him.
He will make a odd clicking sound as she kind of pets him, but he kind of closes his eyes a little bit and seems to enjoy it.
He seems very taken in with the bird. I'll continue to
Oh
pet
yeah,
it.
Kvalar can be a charmer. He ingratiates himself. And
Charismatic hand bird.
it's like the dog trick, but I have a bird. Right. Decim looks to Lanus and Nima and says, "I'm sure our honored guests and dear nieces want to see more of the castle in a bit. Feel free to show them around."
Certainly I shall do. Lucas, the rooms we prepared on the third floor for them, or on the fourth floor, I believe. Ensure they are ready.
He'll nod and hurry off to make sure the rooms are ready.
Yes, I believe the rooms here should be appropriate. The ones next to Decimus in the art gallery.
I have some art I could show.
You said you wanted 3 rooms prepared?
Mm-hmm.
All 3 bedrooms up there?
Yep, those 3 bedrooms should be prepared.
All right.
It would, you know, they've travelled such a long way. They deserve their own rooms to rest in.
Basically, Desmond will engage in some small talk with him, you know. Basically try to make himself look friendly.
Sure. He will get the idea that Catelyn is very innocent. She's very taken aback. She's very excitable. And seems, reminds him a little bit of Bree before her journey south. Nelia is controlled. She seems to think before she says anything. And she seems to be, in some way, she seems to have a sparkling intelligence, even though she is very young, and certainly also seems to have a bit of naivety. Sure.
Good qualities, both.
Well, Nima will ask about how Bravos is and how everything's going.
Well, you'll say it's, generally in Bravos it is boring as usual. There's just ships and traders and stuff from all over the free cities, but it's not as exotic and exciting as here. Things are so strange and foreign. Comment on the coin system is completely strange and doesn't make any sense to them.
Tell me about it.
True.
Oh boy.
The language. They're happy to finally be able to use their language that Sir Ryman has taught them.
Aw, Nima was looking forward to
Sometimes
talk
when
with.
speaking to one another, they do jump into Bravosi instead. Speaking much faster.
Which, admittedly, the only person at the table who does not understand Bravosi is me. And the bird.
The bird
Bird's
blinks
name is
knowingly.
Strangler, so
One language for a bird is generally considered good. It was not Bravosi that it hurt the most of.
No.
well, Nima will be excited to see them again, see some friendly faces. Remembering a time where courtesy wasn't a part of the day.
Yeah, they certainly don't seem to be sort of. They're not used to being called ladies. Although Sir Ryron will make a point of it.
And Nima will probably accidentally slip on the ladies, but well, go. Lady. me lady.
They seem to enjoy it, probably feeling much like princesses.
Ah,
That's a
Sort of, and they will want to go retire early. Basically, they've had a long trip. A warm bath for each, and then rest.
Desmond will call up Sir Ryman to his room.
Sure. And that scene also.
well, fine then.
Oh,
We'll just go to the discotheque with hookers.
He was a bit taken back
Blackjack.
at the imagery of the room. Doesn't really seem to know how to react as he steps in the door, looking around at the countless pictures of,
Strangeness.
children
Where's your
being by ethereal hands from the darkness. That sort of thing.
Yes, this is of my niece Brienne. I thought of her when I painted this.
Who's the hands?
A filthy bastard.
Seriously. So I can see that.
Looks over to him.
She's a bit less sure of himself now.
You have travelled far, Sir Ryman, with a precious cargo, so to speak, and for that I am certainly grateful. You have performed admirably in that regard.
Thank you, my lord. I've done my utmost. I could never live to see any of them hurt.
That is an admirable quality, Sir Raymond, and I respect you for it. He looks at him. However, you were not the first to arrive with this news. It came at the... well, we were basically informed of this by bastards of House Trent, who came before you here a week or so ago, and professed that they wanted to marry my two nieces. My question is, Sir Raymond, how they didn't know this was a thing before we did. He looks at him.
And it's like, I'm not entirely sure what to say. We did encounter quite a few people and had to find a carriage in Lockport. Perhaps if they had been in the general area, they would know that we was looking for passage. Beyond that, we also had to talk Lord Hurston into sending the letter we had brought with us. I have not opened it myself. I do not know of the contents, but I'm sure it would hold some explanation. I do not think anyone else has read it. I did my utmost to make sure that the contents were not spilled. Bow slightly and says, but our bargaining for passage, talking to people and such, most people in this land are suspicious. They would not simply allow Hedge Knight to purchase their wares without knowing what they were going to be used for. That is at least the reason for questioning I encountered. I could see no reasonable argument to deny the man. However, it is entirely possible that the trance should have stopped himself.
Yes.
As they are, I met one of them, a sour fellow. I do not like them, and from what I heard of them, they are bad people.
But nevertheless, you told this sour fellow.
Excuse me, what?
You told this sour fellow?
As little as possible, although he came with questions, I refuted them all. Whatever he might have heard, he has heard from other people than me. The girls, the time I have not been with them, I have left them in the care of guardians or such. They might have spoken. I did not see reason to silence them for any reason.
I could engage in intrigue here, see if I can get something out of him.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Engage. I want to know, basically, is it telling the truth? And because as far as I understood the trance, it was like, oh yeah, we kind of pumped him for information. And he spilled all of it, more or less. So basically, I just want to make sure if that is the case or not.
Well, you can certainly ask him. As an intrigue, he currently does not have much particular that he would like from you, except to answer your questions.
Mm-hmm.
So he will not persist your questioning if you have questions, or simply you want to know if he's lying or hold something back.
I want to know if he's lying and holding something
awareness, empathy to see if he is what you can glean.
Oh God! Oh God! Decim explodes.
Huh.
He is not holding much back here. He might have talked more than he should have at that point.
Mm-hmm. Need a fucking screenshot on that.
4 of a kind, baby.
You, however, also will notice that there is something he is seems to be holding back somewhat, and it seems to be about Lady Nalia. He perhaps cares more for her than he dares say.
Hmm.
That might be the reason for why he is acting a little bit nervously.
Hmm.
He also does not seem to like the trance at all. his encounter with them was perhaps unpleasant. It certainly seems to be so when he explained it. You can probably also glean that he's a pretty genuine man from your general gathering. You have this moment of just incredible insight into his thoughts and behavior. He seems to be generally honorable. He seems to be wanting to serve in the best way he can. And his greatest fault seems to be to think or to be sad that he cannot do more for you than he can.
Mm-hmm.
You get the idea that he's generally a good man.
Okay.
Generally. Yeah.
Generally, okay. That is certainly nice. Desmond will seem pleased at this.
Not sure why, but seems nervous.
No, he more doesn't. Maybe relaxes a little bit from his vice-like grip of his cane, something like that. He will look at him and says, "You seem to me to be a good sort, Sir Ryman, and we are better off for having you, I think. Do take care, though, that your affections remain only that. You should preferably stamp them out."
So, my lord, sort of a questioning.
He looks at him. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It is clear as day between you two. Or at least from your part.
Then I must beg your sort of. Just I meant no disrespect, my lord. I will accept what punishment you will deem fitting, but please do not harm the girl.
Doesn't looks.
It was me.
Looks at him and says, "How far has this actually gone?"
2 months in, my lord. I believe.
Leans on the cane again, tapping it.
It is not yet visible, but it will be sooner rather than later. I had planned to tell you, my lord, but just at perhaps a time. I did not know that I was again stopping to say anything. I'm very sorry, my lord.
Yes, and you should be. He looks at him up and down. This is a problem we need to think on quite a bit further, I think.
Drawing his blade and putting it hilt first towards you on the floor. So I will serve you in return for, well, as an answer for the misdeeds I have done the house.
I have a question.
Yes.
What did he do?
He has knocked her up. She's pregnant.
Oh. What?
I don't think the leeches can help with that, but I think there's a tea.
No, we need something else for that, specifically.
The oldest one?
Oh my god, why did I say the leeches? Jesus, I've got imagery in my head now. I can't get it up.
The oldest one?
You did this to yourself.
I did this to myself.
I think it was the oldest one, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, Nalia.
That is so cute.
Well, it might be cute, but...
You're the one who gave Castleforge swords to bandits.
This does if this gets heard though, this does ruin significantly the chances of
Yes.
So,
I'm married.
pregnant.
This doesn't ruin significantly. This I mean this is a game changer.
Well, I kind of figured something like this would happen, that one of them was not... yeah.
Well, that can be something that Decim can think about. We'll see whether he brings that up with the Maester.
Looks up. Just, my lord, if I may be so bold, I had planned to ask this at a time where I might have proven my worth, but I will swear to you that I will do my utmost to be worthy of her, and with the price that her hand comes with, I would construct a manor close to the keep and serve the house as a knight from this day until my last.
Desmond looks at him and says,
Keeps his head bowed,
You
kneeling.
are indeed brazen, Sir Ryman. Not only do you violate the virtue of my niece, you also have the gall, while she is pregnant in 2 months, to ask for her hand in marriage. He looks down upon him.
He keeps his head bowed, shaking slightly. It's clearly very emotional for him.
Yeah.
Not planned for this to be the time or place.
Yeah, Desm is just like oozing.
Like he looks longingly at like the leeches. Like,
Yeah. It's like it's just.
But it's so cute. Just let them be married.
Is that Nima like in a corner?
There's no such thing as love anymore.
she just like shouts up from the well outside.
Oh.
Of course, Nemo would hear this. She's a fucking assassin.
Yeah. And Bree's like, what are you awing at?
It's basically like, what is shit?
Doesn't look in and says, Sir Roman, you have indeed done this house a great dishonor by conducting yourself in such a manner, and I shall not soon forget it. However, he also looks around. The house is in a precarious position, and you have made it much more so precarious with this deed of yours. I cannot at this time fully conceive of the possible damages you could have caused. He sort of looks down at the sword on the ground. All that said, I do accept your vow of service to the house. As for the rest of your request, looks down at him, that is something that needs to be discussed at a later date.
Find you hard.
His shoulders sort of slump a little bit, but he doesn't say anything. Just keeps kneeling, head bowed.
Let's see here. I forget the proper conduct here. Is Desmond supposed to pick up the sword as a sign of him accepting the service?
Not really. If you picked it up, you might slice his head off with it if you don't want it. That's really the gesture is him giving the power to you. You tell him what to do, basically.
Then Desmond will move his hands in a curt gesture, saying, "Pick up your sword, Sir Ryman, and go and get some rest if you can. I need to speak to the Maester."
He'll bow his head deeply, take the sword, and quickly take his leave to his room.
I love this. This is so cool. I love it. It's romantic. You know what Nima approves? It's cute. She doesn't know, but she
I'm
approves.
just saying, during the technical founding.
What? He's a knight! It's cool!
Yeah, I basically think this is like almost identical to our founding.
Whenever I saw how friendly they were, I as a player thought something has happened between these two.
Were they friendly? I didn't notice.
Yeah, she looked longingly at him and stuff.
Like, they looked as if they were close affiliation. I didn't know that they would be this close, but
the
as a player-
closest,
Like-
one might say.
Yeah.
Like baby close.
Desmond knocks on Maester Call's door.
Oh my god. You know, the whole thing is gonna be awesome when she has to give birth, but she's gonna be very sad about it.
Open it slightly and says, yes.
I want
I need to...
Sort of move my hand to his lips to mean that you should be quiet right now. Sort of speak in a low voice. You'll open the door slightly and then you see that Lord Aaron is currently in here.
I see. Desmond will look at Mr. Call and say, Mr. Call, we need to have a talk as soon as you are available. It is a matter of some urgency and some delicacy.
He'll look back slightly and says, will it take long?
I am not sure.
Looks back and says, I can spare a few moments now if that is required. So I'll close the door gingerly behind him.
Then to get out of the no doubt constant eavesdropping of servants and whatnot in this bloody castle,
Oh, yes.
we'll move into the council room, close the door, etc., and then Decim will look over to Mr. Collins and says,
Here, randomly.
Lucas, is that you out there? Cavallo's going to be outside.
Moving around all the time.
Cavallo's going to be outside. He's going to sit like on the door handle here and look very angrily at...
The servant's chamber.
I mean, he's not going to be able to hear through because this room's full of loads of people. Would be
Unless they have like bored a hole somehow into the council chamber.
Those fucking sneaky servants.
Yeah.
They're the ones who
I
are like.
wouldn't be surprised. It has come to my attention, Mr. Cole, that my dear niece Nalia is pregnant.
Sort of seems like taking things as I see. I haven't had the pleasure to meet the girl yet, but it certainly is a
Problem. A monumental such problem, since she was meant to be married off.
It's not unheard of for such to still have a bastard, notwithstanding. Generally would lower her value somewhat, though, I can see.
My question to you, Mesa, then, is there something to be done with this pregnancy?
That depends. If it is a visible one, I would be obliged to say to let it continue, as a development so far could have grievous, perhaps lethal consequences if it was to be ended.
2 months, I'm told.
He frowns slightly and sort of seems to think. I could attempt it, certainly. There could be damage at this point if it was forcibly ended. Such damage could end up with infertility. It is only a chance, though. Greater that nothing permanent would happen. I would generally, in concerns of health, caution against such a late intervention. A few nights, perhaps even a month, would be more easily done.
And how much farther could this proceed, in your opinion, before it becomes much more dangerous than it would be worth?
This is not sure what you mean.
I do not want the girl to come to harm, Maester. Understand that, but this pregnancy is a danger. How much further can we wait and still end the pregnancy?
It would have to, if it is really something that you are sure you will try, be something that is sooner rather than later, I would say. If 2 months really have gone by, that is a significant amount of time, generally considered to not be intervention should have happened before this time, if possible.
Yes.
At this point, most of what would be used would be physical and mental stress to end the process, so to speak. It is in no terms pleasant, and I doubt she would appreciate the procedure, unless she is very firm in her belief that nothing should come of it.
There's some nods. He says, "Thank you for your time, Maester. I will consider your words."
Bow. I serve as always. I'll take his sleeve to go back. Something more pleasant.
He's not sure, but he might hear a table flip.
Come on, like the bird like peeks its head in, like sees Decim like flip a table.
Yep. Basically what's happening.
It looks at him with knowing eyes.
Just like Jesus.
What? Kaka! Flies away. Bird flies through a castle. Pregnant! Pregnant! Like,
Decim's
Do you see Decim like running after the bird? You shut up!
come back here!
Decim's pregnant!
Ah! I'll pluck you!
I thought the Citadel said you were smart.
You white freak! Come back here!
Baby's coming! Baby's coming!
Kaka! Oh, happy days! Well, fuck everything again.
Well, that's already happened, Jonas.
Well, you know, it comes in like a
I,
banana and out like a watermelon.
Metagame wise, I would say that logically, considering how they don't stand to inherit anything, were it not for the monetary value, like the best you could hope for would be to like use them to gain the service of a knight. If he is not a hedge knight, and he is one with noble lineage, and he's not small folk, I would be inclined to let it be. Because it could perhaps ensure some happiness and the service of a knight who could go on to do deeds and renown in service of House Caladan.
I'm
And if something bad, you know, if with this happen, something bad is gonna happen, but it's not gonna happen to us.
oh shit! Using the
I'm
beautiful
joking.
beautiful ploy of Manor House. Like if Manor House, you can spend a destiny point to shunt bad fortunes onto them. Look at Tino with the sweet mechanical insight.
It's like, oh, the Lordmen attack
I
your
wouldn't be happy.
banner house, as it turns out. Like, oh god. Yeah. Well, I mean, me as a player, I think it's a decent idea. Decim as a character is he does this is
Right. This has fucking derailed everything. He's already had to take shit from the Lordman, and now he has to take
Exactly.
shit from this fucking knight.
Yep. He is murderous in attention.
You know, his brother's dead.
Yep. And the only one he has left is an insane loon who just
Right.
sits and babbles in a corner.
He killed one, the other died of sickness, and the third one is,
Ugh. He's surrounded by Gah!
But I mean, if we want to talk into the guts of that, like the terrible thing would be to like make an enemy of this girl that we then end up marrying off to a
Right.
noble house,
Right.
and then from her
That's
position.
what I'm thinking. And Decim as a character is not unsympathetic. He did find his love in a similar fashion as well. So he's not unsympathetic at that thought. The thing is, then we would only have Caitlyn to marry off, which would probably anyway shoot out the Trent deal because they wanted both girls, and that's not going to happen. But maybe we can get her to Dorne.
You know, it's possible that if Wyronwood wouldn't work out, then we could do the youngest to the youngest. Because sweet, innocent, doe-eyed, youngest of the Trant bastards.
Oh, yeah,
better
him.
Like, I would rather attach him than, like, that sour puss
Yeah.
listening to Ashford twat.
Yeah, he
You know,
sucks.
he was sweet. If it weren't for the fact that Nima was like, no one touched my little girl,
Or
she would probably. Well, that's because he was he was a little too happy with Bree. Oh my God.
I have
A
this
little too
painting.
touchy.
I have this painting.
You know, if he wants Bree, he has to be able to beat.
Defeat her in a duel.
Yes. that's the
That's
deal there.
pretty much how, like, whenever she gets older, that's going to be her
Yeah.
defense.
You know, if Bree really came to Nini, I was like, I really do ever so love him. maybe she could convince us, like, not dual people anymore.
Right. But at any rate, I mean, there's still the one girl, and if this knight is actually noble-born, then he'll still qualify for, like, a marriage and getting the gold dragons, and, like, it's clearly something where you wouldn't have to worry about the well-being of a family member based on how thoroughly eviscerated Decim just did that dude.
Yeah.
They clearly care for each other.
Yes, they
Destin
clearly
would have, with his amazing awareness and insight anyway, have gleaned the brazen spear on a little piece of cloth in his belt of House Moore,
more.
a noble house in the Vale.
Oh, he is far from home.
In
Alright.
that case, then, if he does have that genuine noble lineage, then he's a knight. We could certainly use all of the help we can get on that
We
front.
could, yes, and he seems a good sort. He's not super
Well-
creepy as some of the Trent people.
Nima knows him. You can ask her about him.
Maybe
Alright.
when Decim does he finishes fucking
Right now, I think he's raging.
Yeah,
Yes.
right now Decim
Yeah,
is
like
having a
I
fit.
No.
totally understand the character roleplay aspect though. Like this is just fucking ruined everything.
Yeah,
Anyway, if Decim wants to know something, he can ask Nima.
yeah,
Nima
he
knows.
probably will. Right now he's kind of trashing something.
Bree will like look at Nima. You hear something upstairs as we're standing like by the well.
Like all you would have
The sea Qualler like desperately trying to escape through the window, like
Yeah,
oh god!
like before out there you.
a chair flies.
Oh, I love this. Just you two talking by the well in the very distant, very quiet flute
Oh
sound.
my
Suddenly
God.
The flute sound stops as you hear cable flips going everywhere.
Yeah, you this. If you're close, you hear
Not
that
Gold's
Decim is-
Castle Ford's chair.
I don't
no.
know. Wouldn't Nima react to basically someone is fighting? Should I go check it out?
Oh, wait, it's probably not. As you can hear, it's not fighting.
Say,
Okay, then it's totally cool. We
Bree
know.
says, perhaps father has she sort of shrugs.
Nima shrugs.
I'm sure Sir Cousin is still in the keep. He can, if there is anything there, they will be handled.
True. I need to get up with this accent. I need to learn it somehow.
you like corner like the girls. Teach me your Bravosi accent. I forgot it.
channel your inner Raphael.
But it's so hard because you were always so flirty.
Well,
Yeah.
hello, ladies.
Well,
I am Nima Ryan. It is
I
such a
am
pleasure to see
Nima.
you.
Hello, ladies. I am Nima. I am also hello, sirs. I am Nima.
This is listening to some Spanish music or something.
I will stop
I think that's
clenching
what
this
Puss in
rose
Boots.
between my teeth. I put it in your head.
I am Nima. I am here to make love to your wives.
I don't know.
Well, there we go.
That is how we say hello in Brussels.
That is how I say hello in Bravos.
Great respect,
These foreigners, damn.
right? It's a compliment.
All right, I suppose.
No,
Let's,
Nima's not much of a flirter.
Where is Nima currently?
Not by the well.
I'm by the well.
let's
Then,
transition to the next moment.
Yeah.
We got.
Once table flipping has ended, Bree was still looking over at Nima, like still looking around the side, and just like the color like goes out of her face, like looks at Nini with a, "Your garments look pretty."
What?
Yes, using one of the words, Tina.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
that word, one of those words that we made.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nima nods.
Pleasant evening, Uncle. Like Bree like appears. Even Bree's
Scared to
like.
sound like Raphael. That would just be disrespectful.
Like Bree like looks at Decim with her perspective. Even she's like, I don't feel like fighting with my uncle right now.
Yeah.
No, he
Oh,
is
looks
like
down,
don't.
blaming both of you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like incredibly.
Glaring, reflecting
Put it in
Decim.
her.
He often reflects Decim's mood.
It basically has what all of you did.
What
We found out.
Yeah, you have been found
Really?
out.
what can we do for you this evening, Uncle?
Nima, I would like a word with you, please.
Shall I leave you two, or would you speak somewhere else?
Desm looks at Bree and says, "No, I believe we can speak here. You are excused for the moment, Bree."
Bree will not even fucking like resist. She's like, look at Nini, give a "I hope you survive this" smile, and she'll start using her little legs to quickly power walk away.
Nima just smiles at Bree. I'll be fine.
Desm looks at.
Krala doesn't seem to think so.
Well, Kvala means strangle. I don't trust that bird. I know he'll strangle me
He's
one
too
day.
smart.
Yeah, he's gonna
frowns even
strangle
You
me
could probably
one
figure
day.
out how to take a pillow and press it down on your face. You know?
That's why I don't
You
have a
probably
pillow.
would not be too dumb for that.
No, he could
if you really
definitely do
wanted
that.
to.
Yeah.
So.
He's a smart bird. You see Desm like visibly trying to control his temper. You've probably not seen him this angry, or like obviously angry before, but you know, he looks at you and says, "I am in need of some information, if you would, Nima. Specifically on Sir Ryman."
Nima raises an eyebrow. Did some? How do I do the accent? Did something happen like that?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, getting it.
You'll grow into it.
Uh-huh.
I'll grow into it. It's hard to sound serious though.
It is a it has a happy cadence to it.
It does. It's
That's the
terrible.
Bravos, right? When you're in love
Oh.
in Bravos, it's like kick in the rich man's windows and kidnap his merchant daughter, be a duelist in the streets and jump like ropes and boats and duel for her love and you know like big plays of like Shakespearean style and such.
Uh-huh.
Very
Right.
different from here.
My character is not really that happy-going, but so well. Sure.
You could say that. He has done some things I am not too happy about, let's say, and I would like to know something of him and his character, if you would indulge me. His manner doesn't betrays that he's not really asking.
Oh, so I'm not gonna get any. Okay, fine. Sure. What do you want to know? I'll not do the accent. I'm too tired.
You have known him for some time, yes?
Yeah. Good man.
Do you know more of where he comes from and how he came into the service of my late brother?
I bet Nima would know.
She would. He, well, it was sent for a knight of some, proven worth, to teach two young noble ladies how to behave in a Westerosi fashion, so that they could fit into Westerosi culture. He is the cousin of the current Lord Moore. He has 3 older brothers. And so this was a way in which his family thought that he could be to good worth to someone, basically. Because it's not like they really have room for that many more sons in their own household. And sending a man out to do good service somewhere else is generally good. He's a knight of the Vale. His family serves House Aaron with their words high as honor. And honor certainly seems to be a big deal in his life. He takes joy in his work, and although he was a little estranged by the location at first when you met him, he took to the job very easily, and he seemed to enjoy the exotic, taking things in with an open mind, and yet trying to always be on the side of caution.
Except when he's sleeping with my niece. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Excuse me.
No, nothing.
Did he sleep with?
Shh! You were like... Keep your voice down. God save us all. Yes, he did.
Interesting.
Yes, interesting. That is exactly the wording.
What does she say?
I have not gotten that far yet.
Do you want me to talk to her?
The situation...
Do you want me to talk with him?
Tempting. Very tempting. Very tempting indeed.
I am able to both be a woman and a man.
And Desam seems to think, and he says, "We are in a precarious situation now. We only have Caitlin as eligible to marry off. She needs to understand the situation as well. Yes, this must all be made aware."
So there's one thing I want to get out in the clear. Did
Yeah.
you want to?
As I said, I haven't figured that out. Perhaps you could talk to her and perhaps get her to confide in you. You have known her for quite some time, after all. I am a stranger, and one that would rather...
Intimidating indeed.
He nods slightly. The risk that she would simply just close up and not divulge anything is high. So perhaps if you could try, that would be greatly appreciated, Nima.
Of course.
He nods. Thank you. Seven have mercy.
Jonas,
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed that we're kind of talking by the water cooler ancient times.
Yes,
This is where the cool kids are.
that's right. Cool kids are here at the well. Ah, good heavens. Well,
Bird better not shit in the water cooler.
Well, Desem seems to have calmed down a slight bit hearing about Sir Ryman and his character and what type of man he is.
I am happy I could relieve you. Wink.
We are not quite there yet, but yes, I am happy as well. Doesn't
Innuendo?
blinks. Doesn't blinks. It's just.
Nima raises an eyebrow and says innuendo.
He looks somewhat perplexed. I wasn't trying. I mean,
Well, you are married, so.
what?
And I don't know how you swing.
What? Doesn't just looks very surprised at all of this. Just shakes his head. Oh, hello, Agatha.
Nima just smiles. she loves doing this. This is funny.
He sort of takes a half step back and says, yes, well, I leave it in your capable hands
Relax. Relax. I'm not going for you.
then. Oh, thank you.
Not because you're not handsome.
I think I better go.
Nima
Yeah.
just laughs and runs off. I have a girl to talk to.
Yes. And I have another girl to talk to.
You're gonna. Oh no, she didn't. Oh, okay, sure.
Poor Bree.
Oh,
Bree!
We need another girl to marry to the Trents.
You guess what?
guess what? He needs to get through me. Where's that woman?
It's
Oh,
either
there.
that or we marry you to House Will.
Who's my house Will?
Donishman.
That's mean.
Oh my, that's mean.
Knock. This is gonna be awkward if we're both here.
No,
You
no,
do know
I'm
that
gonna-
she's sleeping right now, but
Oh.
that is
Oh,
something.
they already went to bed?
Yeah, they're dying after a long travel.
Then I'm not gonna knock now.
Had
That's
food
weird.
and then they had rest. After
That's weird.
after
Gotta
a
do it
bath.
tomorrow morning.
I need,
Until.
I need a perch for Kvaler, like a bird perch.
I have cages, but not perches.
You can sit here.
What is Everin doing? I wish I had a horse.
No, he takes care of them. He likes horses.
I don't betray him and leave him at home.
We should let him fly.
He would like to have a horse. But he's not rich or important enough in the house to get a horse. And he
Right.
certainly didn't raid a Dornish camp and steal horses and money.
I think the 11-year-old girl has done more in that regard than you have. So, Evelyn, what do you feel about that?
Is it time to go to bed?
Well, not for you. You can be up for longer. Perfectly
Is it
fine.
beer night? I don't remember.
Well, I think that's not like a thing because weeks are 15 days long, basically. So having like a weekly thing is not that often, or a half moon thing. However, generally, if you invite people to go drink and sort of you have the little ritual about what it is to go and have a night, basically.
We do.
But I don't think that
We do
Decim is
have-
in the mood for.
No,
Decim
he's
is-
probably not in the mood for beer.
No, Decim needs to.
Oh, there's your wife. I was about to ask, where's your wife? What did you do to her?
She usually tends to the servants and such.
Mhm.
She's Miss Managerial woman.
She's a lady of the house.
Yeah, she takes care that there's warm bread in the morning and that the floors get scrubbed. She doesn't do it, but she takes care of the servants basically. Makes them do things.
She's a
Without her,
household
this whole
essential.
place would collapse.
Yes.
Maybe even literally. There's nothing we can compare it. No one ever really does it.
Yeah, and Decim will also.
No, she does well because you never notice it.
Yeah, and Decim will also, unburden himself upon his darling wife, and she will be very soothing and comforting and all that.
Remember
She
how we
understands
met?
him, but of course he comes from a hard world of politics, but he must not allow that to harden his heart to such things.
Such.
And he can perhaps tell himself that she's a woman and
Mhm.
that they are,
They are.
key to such.
Yes,
They are the weaker.
They are sensitive, frail, and pure creatures.
What is
They don't
Nima then?
understand the finer things.
Nima is. I'm not sure. We'll have Maester
Oh.
Call do
A diagnosis.
No,
No, okay.
no.
He would
He
probably
is
love
not
to.
gonna-
As a medic, as a physician, he would be fascinated, no doubt.
He could write a large thesis on you.
Mm-hmm.
But he is already working on someone.
Oh, it's true.
What?
What?
What is he doing?
Lord of the
working on
House.
Lord Aeron.
Oh, right.
Take care of him.
I got a little nervous there.
He's already doing something? What?
The dungeons.
Filled with,
No, you see, Nima, when you sleep, he creeps into your room
and that's why I sleep at the barracks.
Just saying, Jonas, we need to add a new vice to Sir Alaric since he's been in the kitchen this entire
Yes,
time.
glutton is yes.
Well, I mean, that's where you think he is, but really, we all know.
Oh, you inside Caitlin's room! So help me God if that is the case. I will end
I've
this.
chosen to remarry this young,
I would flip the entire castle.
second cousin.
I would flip the entire bloody castle.
Bree, we need our uncle restrained.
But if no one wishes to do anything else this day,
No.
or you're not really knowing why or we're angry or anything, but
I'll tell you later.
You're studying and avoiding Desmond. That is my day.
people walk on tippy toes because when you hear the clank, clank, clank become clank, 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 then you know that you should really stay away.
I feel sorry for the servants right now.
Like a mood stick. Well, they usually just flatten up against the wall that he passed, and he doesn't really bother with them, I imagine.
No, it's just
Not like they go much into his room anyway.
no.
I'm saying like one
Wife
servant
takes care of that himself or
if a
herself.
servant if someone spills a drink for him right now, it's like, oh god,
Well, I mean, they're not that bad. Servants.
They can
Most
spill
servants
drinks,
have
though.
already been
it happens.
excused.
Oh, right, he did touch her hand. Says it all.
Regardless, the next day, does someone else have something to do? There's no conversations. Which we have. Weirdly enough, Caitlin, the younger girl, gets up early-ish. Wants to have some food.
Well,
But the two older one, the older one, and the Sir Raymond. Well,
What?
the older one will also go get up rather early, having gone to sleep very early as well. Sir Raymond will not be joining anyone. He is in his room.
Yes.
I don't know. Have we gone back to the old now, or with seating arrangements?
They don't know that they're seating arrangements. They just kind of sit.
No, I'm talking about Nima.
Oh. But you're
I
not
mean-
allowed by the high seat?
I mean, does Nima request?
How do you request to sit on a chair?
That is such a Bravosy thing to say. I love it. What how do you request it is a chair? I don't
Well,
ask the ground.
you will walk up to Leonis. Can I sit on that chair?
Which chair do you point out? Out of curiosity.
That.
Yeah,
I want to look you in the face. Did you say yes?
takes a second, looks to Catelyn and Nalia, and will.
What?
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! Buddy.
Oh no! I'm not gonna sit at the table.
Best not, Nima.
There are
best
tables
not.
down here if you wish to.
Yes.
Today, Lord Aaron is here.
Oh god.
All to our surprise.
You, yeah, Brienne, yeah, well,
No,
Have a the creepy maester.
Look, he doesn't think my character is real.
no,
Okay?
no,
So,
he thinks you're a ghost of some kind.
so it's for the best that I'm not near him
Yeah.
to upset him.
Yeah, it's kind of
Mr. Cole seems to be in a good mood, having been able to get Aaron in a shape to partake in the meal and to meet his nieces.
Yeah, well, Desmond will present Lord Aeron to nieces.
They will seem slightly disillusioned.
Uh.
But the older one certainly hiding it well. The younger one trying to steal glances at Evren and Alaric before subtly switching chairs to talk to them about knightly pursuits and how it is to be an attorney and such, of
That is
which
something-
Alaric will certainly brag quite a bit, as he does.
Yes.
The melee he won, and all the knights he know, and the Tyrells and whatnot.
I'm sure she's happy now.
She's very engaged over there.
So make sure that he does not go too far.
We have to put a leash on him, don't we?
Desmond will turn to Lord Aeron and says, "Dear brother, how good to see you this morning. I hope you're doing well."
He nods without saying much, looking out. He eats sort of a bland sort of diet, mostly made of oats, and some rice grains and the like. Doesn't seem to enjoy it much as he looks out of the hall, then just stops in the middle of it and looks around, almost as if he just realized that he's here. Looks at everyone. Looks at the girls, frowns, narrowing his eyes as if he doesn't recognize them. Then sort of just shakes it off and continues to look around, down into his food.
Well, Desmond will continue to try to engage his brother in some pleasant conversation to the best of his ability. I mean, he knows that this is probably not going anywhere, but at least he, damn it, if he's not going to be polite and civil with his brother.
Lannis will probably be wanting to talk with Nalia and just general chit chat. You see how she's doing. Talk about her trip, where she has seen.
Aaron will bring the talk to his son. He can't seem to see his son. Has any? How is he?
Desmond,
He doesn't seem
So-
to really look at towards Lanus at all.
Desmond will say that he is, for all intents and purposes, well, and that he is training in his knighthood.
It's good. That is good. to listen. Says I heard about. He stops and says our brother.
Yes. Desmond looks over to the girls, frowns slightly, and says, "It is not something I would have wished to been brought up at breakfast."
I read the letter. I asked Maester Cole to give it to me. I just think a bit. I wanted to be part of this, to meet the guests.
Of course, brother. Of course. Desmond looks over the
Remember
table.
when we were that young, brother?
Desmond smiles slightly and says, "That was so long ago, was it not?" How carefree everything seemed.
Recant the story of when they were smaller and
Mm-hmm.
they all played, all four of you,
Mm-hmm.
with water and some of the hounds of the at that time cattle master, who sadly was too fond of Lorne and ended up perishing with those who followed him.
Yeah.
Playing with the dogs in the rain,
Yeah.
getting awfully muddy. And your mother hated it.
Desmond will, have a hearty but quiet laugh as they speak about the good times. He would certainly indulge in this, and the retelling of the story of when they snuck out of the castle on several occasions to go and do whatever they wanted to do. Explore the woods. When they found that incredibly fascinating looking cave that they tried to dare each other to go into and stuff like that.
He certainly seems to enjoy speaking of the past as he consumes his bland meal slowly. Now they're mostly just listening, not really partaking, but being politely quiet. She does seem to sometimes glance towards the door, perhaps to see if Sir Raymond is arriving, but he is not, alas.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't sit at that table. Sit at the cool table.
He should be in his room and ashamed of himself. That's what he should be.
After dinner, Nelia will politely ask if Lanus and Evrin will show them around the castle.
Lanus will accept, most certainly.
And then they will partake on a bit of a tour.
Sure.
Evrin will tell the uncle more of his future knightly pursuits, and Elia will speak to Lanus, perhaps even about some of the stewardship he does, or sort of be slightly impressed by if he's willing to talk about it, by his actual running this place.
Mm-hmm.
Lanus is happy to talk about it. I mean, it's family.
Oh my god, how am I gonna get that girl?
Girl.
Maybe he should be more happy.
After
Lanus will also be quite relieved that he gets to get away from Lord Aeron, because being ignored by your own father is not a very nice thing.
Well,